Hi everyone. So today is Thursday, August the 7th, and in the morning we're on the bus again to Square Victoria Metro Station first, taking the metro to Sherbrooke Station, and just a couple minutes walk, there's this beautiful St. Louis Square with a lot of these heritage houses, especially these ones. A lot of people are taking photos with these colorful heritage houses surrounding St. Louis Square. And here I am sitting down on the bench, taking my time to draw these delicate little houses. So I think these are condo or apartment buildings for rent. Each door is a separate unit of tenants. So as you can see, this sketch project is more time consuming to most other ones. The drawing took me 1 hour, to do, but it was pretty enjoyable to get all of these details in. The windows, the floating structures. And the colors are pretty vibrant on these houses. So I'm starting to paint the red one, and then the blue one, the purple one. And other areas are just different levels of grays. And I love the way there are actually quite a lot of foliage surrounding these houses. And of course, I've been here 6 years ago when I first came to Montreal, but my sketching desires and abilities were very different back then. Here's the look of my finished sketch. It took me pretty much 2 hours to draw and paint, but it was really worth it. So in the middle of St. Louis Square, there's this little coffee house where I grabbed a cup of coffee, and I love their graphic design. So next time when I come back, I'm going to sketch these buildings sitting down right here with this pretty interesting sense of perspective. Yeah, so there are squirrels everywhere in Montreal. Every few steps you can see at least one. Now we're crossing the street not too far from St. Louis Square to this La Fontaine Park. And I think it's going to be more interesting here in the fall when the leaves change color. Now we're taking the bus 24 to downtown. Passing by the campus of McGill University, which is quite famous, and then cruising through the area of downtown Montreal. This is the Montreal Museum of Fine Arts, one of the buildings. And this area is very close to Concordia University, where I pursued my master's in art education. And we're having Chinese steamed buns for lunch. And here we are on St. Catherine Street. And here's our lunch, very tasty. After lunch, I'm walking to Concordia University. And back home, I sketched Dudu sleeping in our luggage. A sense of security in here. And then I sketched this coffee cup that I got from that little coffee house at St. Louis Square. And Dudu is getting pretty comfortable now with our Airbnb. As you can see, he's grooming. He's starting to get naughty. And today is Friday, August the 8th. And I just want to take the day easy by just wandering around my neighborhood on Wellington Street. So starting the day with a cafe sketch. So I'm going to order something that is not commonly found at Vancouver Cafe. So I think I'm going to grab that strawberry tartelette. So here I'm punching on some juicy colors for the strawberry pieces on the little tartelette, and the warm, cozy colors on the latte. And this was a 2-hour class for the beginners sketching class on the first week of August. So the pattern and the color for the cup is kind of like a mermaid's tail. Very pretty. And I love painting plastic and metallic surfaces. And I decided to give this little set of still life with this warm, cozy background. Because the plate is very white, shaded with light gray, it's better for the background to have a color. And adding on the blue-violet shadows, and here's the look of my finished sketch. And I always finish my food and drink sketches before the coffee got cold. Now, I'm doing a quick and loose sketch of the church. And this is the view of the church outside the patio area of the cafe. And I always enjoy adding at least a little bit of foliage for all of my urban sketches. This is how I simplify the very complicated patterns on this grand church. And there will be a detailed tutorial video on how I sketched and painted this church. So the name of this church translated into English is the Seven Sorrows of Saint Maria. And it's mostly made of limestone, which has like a beige color, not white. I'm starting to paint the sky as usual with cerulean blue, adding a little bit of cobalt blue to suggest a sense of depth. Glazing the limestone exterior with very diluted yellow ochre, and then paint the foliage with vibrant yellow greens and darker greens. Yeah, and all white surfaces in the world, they need to be shaded. So using blue-violet. And now, after sketching the exterior, I went inside the church, which is very much like a cathedral with a large dome, statues of the saints, Jesus on the cross. And here's the look of my pencil draft of the two pillars forming an arch. So each pillar is in the prototype of a rectangular prism with these figurines and swirls and floral carvings. And here is the arch. And just one side of the rectangular prism and the other side defined. And yeah, there will be a more detailed tutorial on how I sketched this in the upcoming weeks. Having fun adding these details and then painting using this diluted yellow ochre, and then punching on more concentrated yellow ochre of the gold areas using blue-violet to suggest the 3D shapes of the pillars. And here's a look of my finished sketches for Friday morning, August the 8th. And I'm gonna come back again to sketch the grand interior, including the dome and the seats. Now outside, I think there's a little musical academy for kids performing right outside the church. And here back home, Dudu is peeking outside the window. There are actually a lot of dogs passing by in the neighborhood. And later in the afternoon, my friends, Lara and Rana, came over with the dog they're babysitting. And of course, Dudu was a little stressed. So now I'm walking the dog, Olivia, who's 9 years old, on the way to a restaurant we're about to have dinner. So while waiting for the food to arrive, I sketched my two friends and Olivia the dog. That's Rana there, and Lara. And I also sketched my chicken burger with the fries and painted the plate before the food turned cold. And after eating, I painted Lara and Rana and Olivia the dog. And Lara, she's also sketching, and she's trying to form a habit of sketching on a daily basis. Afterwards, we're strolling around Wellington Street. And we ended our meetup with ice cream from Alice and Cleo. And the next day is Saturday, August 9th. waking up early in the morning and spend about 15 minutes walking to the neighborhood beach with this view of St. Lawrence River. So while waiting for the sun to rise, I spent about 10 minutes drawing the contour outlines of the foliage and the apartment buildings. The sun is now peeking behind the gap of the trees and illuminating the water surface with this yellow, orange, and red tones. Now painting the rising sun using vibrant orange and yellow to show the shine. Yeah, the sun is pushing through behind the trees, and I would say this little painting is inspired by Claude Monet's sunrise painting. Pretty impressionistic and spontaneous. Using dashing and bold brush marks to be expressive, showing the movement of the water and the reflective colors from the sunrise. And the beach is very quiet, with no other fellow early risers looking at the sunrise. And on our way back to our Airbnb, we saw a stray cat, which is not really a stray cat. He or she has a collar. And later in the morning, I decided to take my mom to the cat cafe, Cafe Chateau, nearby the Verdun metro station. And there are lots of cats here this morning. Lots of kittens. And it's like 9 in the morning right now. The cafe just opened, so it's not too busy yet. So I sketched my cup of latte and croissant breakfast sandwich. So the cats here, they're not stressed by strangers at all. And the breakfast croissant sandwich is so delicious. Now, I'm sketching the two ladies sitting in front of me at a little table. And a kitten just hopped onto their table. I'm not sure if you can see it. Kittens are so small compared to human bodies. And here's the look of my finished sketches at Cafe Chateau this morning. So I'm teaching my online sketching class soon in about 2 hours. So I'm not going anywhere in the afternoon. Oh, now there are so many cats here eating their breakfast. Later in the evening on Saturday, taking a walk in the neighborhood after dinner and grabbed ice cream from this ice cream shop. Ice cream from the machines. Yeah, and that's my Saturday, August the 9th, 2025. Moving on, the next day, August the 10th, is Sunday. And early in the morning, we walked to the Verdun beach in our neighborhood again, and I'm doing another little sunset sketch in my pocket-sized Moleskine sketchbook. However, today the weather is very cloudy, and the sun disappeared behind the clouds right after it started to show its head. So that's my quick sketch. And I think next time I'm going to sketch something like this, the glorious sun between the clouds. And on our way home, we see a rainbow very early in the morning. It's so rare. So I still have about 3 hours before I start teaching my Sunday online sketching class. So I just settle down at the cafe in the neighborhood. And I'm going to sketch the streetscape of Wellington. First of all, I'm sketching my cup of latte and a strawberry pastry, finishing the sketch in 15 minutes before the coffee turned cold. And yeah, I really enjoyed the strawberry pastry. Now I'm sketching the view of a section of Wellington Street right in front of me. So getting the church in first, and then expanding the lines and details towards the right. So right beside the church is the John Coutu pharmacy, and then the Dollarama. And here's my 30-minute drawing of the streetscape. It started to drizzle, and I'm glad that the drizzle didn't stay for too long. Now I'm painting the moody sky, and then the brighter colors of these terracotta brick buildings. So I'm really thankful for, the city of Montreal offering a lot of sidewalk benches for everybody to sit down, for me to sketch. Sitting down on the bench is much better compared to a portable stool. Here's the look of my finished sketch. It took me about 1 hour to draw and paint. And here I am. So every time I finish a sketch, I would like a short little video of myself right there on location as a memory. And now it's 9:15 in the morning, and I finished my sketching goal for today.